What's up, man? Hello. Did you redeem your key? I hope you did. Definitely redeem it right away. Old Doddle. Hope you already put it on your account.見せてやろう。How's this game going? It's a little bit rough, poorly balanced, but it is fun. They'll probably fix stuff like that later. But yeah, I didn't stream yesterday because I was busy working on the video. Let's see. Some slaying here. Turn the music up a little bit. It's a little quiet. Both. Both. Bosses really suck unless you have good damage. PC port for pirate game is pretty good. I was just testing it out right now. Combat feels good too. Yeah, it's not Vampire Survivors. The problem is the fucking trailer doesn't really convey that to you properly. The trailer makes it look like a Vampire Survivors clone, but it's not. It's Muso. I mean, all the movesets are recycled, so I mean, obviously it is, but they definitely could have conveyed it a little bit better. Instead of this looks like Vampire Survivors, but it's not. If it was like Vampire Survivors, I would not be playing it. Plain and simple, I would not be playing this if it was Vampire Survivors. Be kind of just standing around and moving instead of like actually having agency over your attacks, which is boring. The only game I liked like that was Karate Survivor, and that was a melee combat Vampire Survivors clone, so that makes it a lot different. That's the great thing, Lightside. They're the exact same costumes from, like, the past 4 games repackaged. and sold to you again for more money. They are the exact same costumes that were in all the older games. You just have to buy them again. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. That's the great thing. It's the same thing you've already bought 4 times. Because this game is just a really cool asset flip. But it's one of the awesome asset flips. I treat this like a RGG Studios game. They recycle so much stuff, but they do it in interesting ways. It's not really that big of a deal, in my opinion. And for a roguelike, this game is really unique. You guys know I'm a big roguelike junkie. I'm a huge roguelike junkie. Because I grew up in the arcades, that's why. So, I like games like this, but I could definitely say maybe some people wouldn't like it. I'm very much a arcade junkie. Don't buy the costumes, don't buy them. Just buy the $25 one. What's up, Lily? Finally got a Steam Deck. Hell yeah, man. Congrats. Welcome to the club. Yeah, they definitely made this game for me, pretty much. Although, if that was actually true, I would have told them to not design the bosses the way they are, but it definitely is 2 of my favorite things, so I'm thankful for that. If I was commissioned to do, like, feedback for this game, I would have told them to not make the bosses the way they are. It's not even that the bosses are hard. It's just they're a real slog if you don't have stats. But I'm sure after you grind a bit, it probably goes away. could see this being kind of not great for people who aren't used to roguelikes, but this is very similar to stuff I grew up with, because I'm an aging millennial in his late 30s, so I grew up with you know, games like this. Short, replayable games that aren't overly long or ask up for a bunch of time. I like games like this. There's Kiryu. I tried the Pirate Yakuza demo, and I am trying to raise a little bit of funds for that, because it actually was actually pretty solid, and the mods will fix the game too. That will help. Well, you gave me that little tip, right? It's like $35 for the game, so that's the dono goal. It's not, you know, a down payment on a car. It's pretty reasonable, because you gave me money to buy your copy, and that was like $12 extra, so it's like $35. What characters are going to be in? It's pretty much just whatever movesets they have to recycle. It's not really that deep. It's whatever movesets they've got left to recycle. I don't think it's more deep than that. Gotta look at this game like a KOF game. Like, you know how much they recycle those? You recycle those movesets forever. That's basically what this is. Yeah, he's in the game.
るよ。
I fucked up this run by choosing ice. Should not have done that. Notice my damage is way worse. This game is very poorly balanced. That's alright though. Might just retire this run.
どうじゃ? 手段を選ばないわ。全身全霊にて参る。世話が焼ける。助ける。果たす。手柄を立てるべき時は今だ。邪悪せ。
No music selection? No, it's just kind of a... It's like a random playlist of old Muso tracks. Let's see what relics I get this time. I don't really want any of these. They don't really help. But I guess this will help for ads. Real shit selection. Need to try to get a better formation. Damage on the boss was pretty good. He got taken down in like 1.25 of a cycle. Yeah, guys, how's the quality today? I upgraded my stream to AV1 codec. How's the quality today? Is it better than usual? Like, if you guys have watched a stream since before today, is like the quality better? It's the same bitrate, but I upgraded the codec to AV1, so should be a little bit better for games like this where the bitrate is going to get hammered really hard. That's good to know, thank you. Try to improve the stream quality a little bit. I don't know how much different it's going to be, but I am encoding in AV1 right now because I have the 40 series graphics card. Yes, but is it better than usual? That's what I'm asking. Is it better than usual? I'm on a whole different codec now. This run's probably not going to clear, but should get some pretty good upgrades after. Don't get attached. I'm not attached to this run. If it dies, it dies. I think I may have made some bad decisions. I've also gotten really crap luck with formations currently. Don't have a slave formation.
俺とやろうって後悔するよ。俺も最善を尽くす。
うん。好きに選ぶがよい。
私もいいですか？
よく考えよ。期待しておるぞ。
参る。よし、拙者たちの手で決着をつけよう。
そうでなくはな。我に答えよ。
この手にて敵をうがつべし。
Serious, he got his health bar back at the last pixel. I can't stand these boss fights. So stupid. Why can't you just hit them until they die? So boring. The boss fights are like, they're fair too. They don't do anything unfair. It's just boring. I hate this new trend where you have to deplete a bar to do damage. It's so stupid. He has no health left. Just die. Why do they need to have that? I can't stand it. I I wish they would just remove it, honestly. You hit them and they take damage, and that's it. It's the most boring thing about this game. This game is only fun when you do damage. If you don't do damage, the game is such a slog. I don't know why they had to design them like this. They actually did a good job designing them. This is this stupid crap guard bar mechanic. It sucks. And they have to overcomplicate things. They hit them and they take damage, and that's it. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. This boss fight is extended in length by like a minute because of this mechanic. It's really dumb. You need to reduce how much like health bar they have, or it should like have diminishing returns when it comes back. Because that's pretty much how it works in Neo 2, which is made by the same company. Like you can apply the status, but it has diminishing returns. So like you can't keep putting it back on at the same capacity. I really don't know why they designed it this way. It makes it feel like the only thing that matters in this game is damage. It's very poorly balanced. Very poorly balanced. In a better designed roguelike, you can win with crap. You know, complete garbage build. In this game, it feels like even if you can still do that, it just takes so much longer because of the guard bar mechanic on the bosses. Spending forever doing the same thing. I don't know what they were thinking. It really limits build variety when you don't want the game to be torture to play. You have to build damage. I think more types of builds should be viable. But 5-6 hours I've played this game, like yeah, you just want to stack damage. The only thing that matters. I don't really think that's good game design. You guys have seen the other roguelikes I play on here. That's like not necessary. Probably do some kind of damage control and nerf it. It's like the bosses themselves don't need to be nerfed. They're all completely fair. They're all completely fair, and they have like tells of their attacks and stuff. And, the bosses in this game are better designed than a lot of other roguelikes I've played. It's just the fact that there's that stupid stun bar mechanic. It's like they did half of what they needed to do. They did half of what they needed to do.
Yakuza.
Yeah, to do damage at all. It's not hit stun, it's damage. So nothing you do to the boss before the bar is depleted does any actual damage. Am I done with Origins? No. Well, yes and no. I don't know, the builds in that game are just really boring. I played it for like 50 hours and I kind of saw everything. It's like there's no build variety in that game at all. It's the stuff you can put on your character is really boring compared to usual Muso games does. You can tell they did that. That was a design choice to make it more grounded, but kind of kills replay value. I just couldn't get a locked 120. I couldn't get a locked 120 on a 4070 Ti Super, which is pretty bad. That's a pretty good graphics card. Yeah, the RPG elements in Origins are way too grounded, and it's not very fun to play for a long period of time because there's just like not really a lot of interesting progression. The combat's good, but it feels oddly limited. Well, Origins is pretty solid until you beat it once, and then the decision to greatly neuter the RPG mechanics and the builds and stuff really starts to come into play. It's just like not really a lot of interesting progression in the game. That may not matter to some people.
位置がお助けに参りました。
超支流いざ参る。 参る。うっせえよ。我が最中をお見せしよう。
Don't want to use my summon gauge here. Try to two-cycle the next boss. In case you're wondering why I'm not using it. Damn it, why is my neighbor calling me? What does he need? Sorry about that. Your neighbor is calling. Nothing important. Don't worry. I don't have to stop playing. We're supposed to have heavy rain tonight, so I won't be streaming over there tonight. Kind of wanted to go over there tonight because I wanted to see if this would stream pretty well, but gonna have to not do that, unfortunately.
長が義の刃この戦場にて示さん。
さて
What's up, Mike? Okay, he doesn't fucking do the attack. I hate this fucking stupid system, man. Can't stand it. Why do we have to have this stupid guard bar? It's not even hard. Like, it's my fault that I'm losing. It's just boring. I'm not gonna blame the game for me getting hit. I just don't care for this mechanic, like, at all. Overcomplicate something that should be simple. Hit them to deal damage. This run's already dead because I took too much damage. That's my fault. Not the game's fault. But I just don't like the boss fights. Like halfway towards making a good boss fight. They're fair with tells and you have to be patient and stuff. That's not the problem. It's the stupid stun bar. Very unfun. Not needed. Just die, please. Ah, I hate this mechanic so much. Why does every game have to have a guard bar mechanic? It's like the worst trend. It's totally my fault I'm losing. I'm not gonna blame the game for that, but I don't have to like how these bosses are designed. Very boring. He would have been dead like 10 times over. They don't stay down long enough. That's the problem. I don't know if I want to keep playing this game. These bosses are just not fun to fight. I don't know why they had to change how things work for the past 40 years. You just hit them and they take damage. And there's another boss after that too, and he has 2 forms. And it's more of that guard bar crap. Like, just remove it. The point of these games is supposed to be able to burst them down quick if you make the right decisions, but you can't do that. Sometimes you can. And if you don't, it takes like a whole other minute to take it down. Why couldn't they just leave the bosses as they are and then, like, not have that mechanic? Just take it out completely. See, I'm thinking about this from... I have a lot of experience with roguelikes, and I don't want to fight these bosses over and over. They're just not fun. Now, for roguelikes, a lot of roguelikes don't have good bosses, and you don't want to, you don't really want to respect them because they're not fun to fight. The bosses in this game are fine. They don't do anything overly unfair. It's just the fact that they're not fun to fight. And I feel like in a roguelike, that's way more important because you're fighting the bosses hundreds if not thousands of times. Like, it matters more in a game like this versus something like Origins. Origins doesn't really have any shit bosses in comparison, but if they had bosses like this in Origins, it wouldn't be as bad. Because for the average person, you're only fighting them like 1 to 3 times, right? It's fighting these bosses hundreds if not thousands of times is really not going to be fun. But I guess once you grind up more, it's probably more fun. But I don't really consider that to be good design. The runs in this game are also a little bit too long. You're looking at about an hour and some change to clear this game. It's a little bit too long for me. Astral Ascent, Blaze Through Entropy Effect, the PGR roguelike mode, like those are all under an hour. 30 to like 45 minutes. The runs in this are definitely a little bit too long. I mean, this is their first time doing this, so I think it's pretty good for a first attempt, but it definitely is not as good as it should be. And it's really just because of the bosses. The bosses aren't even really difficult. It's just, it's not really fun to fight them. I think the other problem with the guard bar mechanic is it greatly limits how you can use your resources. Because if you don't have an assemble bar up when they're stunned, you know, that basically adds like at least one more cycle. And I think that's really dumb. Hopefully they're open to making some adjustments. I think the best way to fix it and like keep the bosses as they are, they don't really need any kind of damage nerf or anything. Like, their movesets are fair. That's definitely not the problem with the bosses. I think it's just the guard bar should have diminishing returns. Basically the opposite of how it works in Nioh 2. In Nioh 2, you can apply statuses to bosses in that game, which is why the crap that they put on you in that game is fair, because like in most games, status effects are too lopsided, they're too one-sided towards the enemy. And the player, they annoy you and you can't like ever apply them. The way that they did it in Nioh 2 was you could apply it, but it had diminishing returns. So the first time it would proc really quick, and then eventually it would get to the point where it was really hard to proc, but the boss should be dead by that point, so it didn't matter. That's what they should do here. Like, keep the first guard bar the way it is, and then it should be like diminishing returns. You know, like they should have less guard bar. That would make the bosses flow a lot better. It would also help the balance of the game, too. The balance of this game is not great. And I think that's probably the easiest way to fix it. But I wasn't expecting that run to clear anyway. I don't really do numbers. I think with some patches they could very easily iron that stuff out, but they kind of designed this game in a way that I don't like for this genre, which is the meta progression makes the game easy, but without the meta progression it's not fun to play. And it really comes down to the bosses. You definitely can get to the end without grinding, but it's going to take a long time. And I don't really consider that to be good roguelike design, because a lot of the best action roguelikes I play in this channel are the ones where the meta progression is not necessary. It's nice to have to keep you playing, but you don't need it. In this game it really feels like you don't necessarily need it to clear, but for the game to not be a slog you need it. And I don't really consider that to be good game design. But they haven't really made a game like this before. Yeah, it's the bosses and the fact that the runs are too long is what I don't like about this game. The runs were like 20 minutes shorter, and the bosses didn't have that stupid bar mechanic. I would like this game a lot more. It's definitely unique, but I feel like the guard bar mechanic kind of takes away a little bit of the power fantasy. Mike, the $80 version doesn't do anything. It doesn't give you any pay to win. It gives you 7,000 of these embers, which is not much. It's enough to, like, get right down here. It's not a pay-to-win game at all. It's not pay-to-win. The DLC is pretty predatory, but that's not the problem with this game. It's just the way the bosses are designed, and the length of the runs is too long. And if they fixed those two things, the game would be a lot better, but it's a good start. But long term, this game is definitely not going to replace the best roguelikes, which are the ones that I play on the channel, like, all the time. Astral Ascent, Wizard of Legend in the past, Blaze Blue Entropy Effect, Wendigo Blue. Those are all games you can finish with, like, no grinding. The bosses are balanced way better. The balance of all those games is way better than this. I mean, for 25 bucks, that's also kind of the problem too, is $25 for this when you can get, like, Wendigo Blue is like $10. Astral Ascent is always on sale. Blaze Through Entropy Effect as well, you can get for like $12. You can get two of those games for the price of this, and they are better designed. Now, the combat in this game is very unique, but the game design and the balancing in those games I just mentioned is so much better. So, I mean, if you just want the new Muso game to play that's cheap and runs well on Steam Deck, I mean, you can't go wrong with this. But I'm thinking about this game from multiple dozens of hours in, because I'm the kind of person that can put, like, 80 to 100 hours into a game like this. I don't know if I would play this game for that long because of the way it's currently designed. But you can probably speedrun this game pretty easily if you you do all the grinding, but that's garbage design. You shouldn't have to grind to make the game fun. The grinding should help if you're struggling with it a little bit, or you just want a reason to play. It shouldn't be the only way to make the game fun. And there's a lot of roguelikes that repeat this mistake. It's a very common problem. There was that one I played called Lootmancer, and that game was basically a forced grind because of the way that the ending system worked, and then the skill tree was pretty trash because it had, like, stuff that you expect your character to be able to do the moment you start. Like, you had to grind for a parry and a ground pound. I'm like, why do I have to grind for that? The only reason is to keep you playing longer. Your guy should be able to do that from the start. That's not something I should have to grind for. This game doesn't really do that. I mean, they do have this mechanic here where you can, where is it? They do have this mechanic here where you can quick summon, and that's like a pretty major mechanic, but it only takes like 1 or 2 hours to get, if even that. That's not bad. But yeah, if you're looking for a roguelike that's more fresh file friendly or minimal grinding friendly, I don't think this game is very good. Fresh file on this, I think, would be a lot of luck and playing perfectly for an extended period of time. I mean, it's not impossible. Is it fun though? Is it fun? That's the thing. The bosses are well designed, moveset wise. That's what's weird about this game is like there are a lot of roguelikes I played that have like really gimmicky bosses, and like I said, in like, you know, a Devil May Cry or a God of War or Ninja Gaiden, it'd be like, you know, this boss sucks, but you only fight it once, right? But like when you put a crap boss in a roguelike, it's really bad because you're fighting them dozens and dozens, if not hundreds or even thousands of times, depending on how you like the game. You can't have bosses like that. And I have dropped action roguelikes a lot quicker than this one because of the bosses. And that's what's weird, is like the bosses are, you know, they're fairly designed. They don't do anything unfair. And they have very clear tells for what they're doing, and there's very clear patterns and stuff. It's just the guard bar mechanic, I think, ruins it. And that's really a shame, because I play a lot of these games, way more than most people. And I can definitely say the bosses in this game are very well designed. They're not overcomplicated, but it's just the guard bar mechanic. And I imagine, if you like this game enough to do the grind, it probably becomes a non-issue. But, it's whatever. I've said my piece. See if I want to go again, maybe. Yeah, the boss bar is the problem. Which is about what I expected. There has to be some kind of catch, right? Can't just make a game like this really quick and get it right the first time. I think it's good for a first attempt. Is it like a top 10 roguelike for me? With some major changes to how things work, yes. But hopefully they'll patch stuff like that. I do have a link to the... I do have a link to the community manager, so I'll definitely relay him some feedback. And maybe the boss bar mechanic could be tweaked a little bit to be less overbearing, and then I think the game would be relatively fine. The Warriors aspect of the game is the strongest suit, yes. The fact that the combat, there's not really any other roguelike that has combat like this. They definitely did a good job with that. I mean, obviously it's all recycled assets, so that part was probably relatively easy to implement. It's just, it's not only the bosses. It feels like if you have a slow moveset in this game, it's kind of a detriment. If you have a long moveset, it's not great either. But I'm sure those things will get ironed out in time. What do you guys want? Do you guys want me to try again? Or I can play another roguelike that doesn't have HP sponge bosses. It's up to you guys. I could do another run of this. I could do like Astral Ascent or Wendigo Blue, or I can try the Yakuza demo because I'm raising funds for that, as you can see in the pinned message. What do you guys want to see? It's up to you guys, I guess. I actually think he's one of the best characters because he can deplete the bar pretty quick, but there definitely are still going to be times where if you don't execute properly, you got to go through a whole 1-2 cycles. So there's one thing here I think that will will really help. This right here. So maybe they just expect you to just play this for like 30 hours, and then the game becomes more fun, which is not great design. That's pretty garbage design, to be completely honest with you. But I saw this in here, and like maybe this fixes the problem. Fresh file seems terrible, yeah. The top tier fresh file roguelike for me would be Wizard of Legend. The balance in that game was incredible because I got the game early, but then I also bought the game on Switch. Humble Bundle gave me a key for Wizard of Legend, and I was under embargo, so I had to learn how to play the game. But when the Switch version came out, I did not get a key. I bought the game again. I beat it my first try because I knew the game and it was all skill. That's peak game. That's peak roguelike game design. This is not peak roguelike game design. The fact that I was able to do that with like the the starting pool of items is really good. Oh, that was Astral Ascent. I'll try one more run, and then I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. Because I know I'm going to get really annoyed. Like, yes, I can play better, and I definitely was playing bad that last time. It doesn't really absolve the game of its flaws. I'm sure once you get some of these unique weapons, it probably helps too. Like, I got this right here. But they're random drops. So it's definitely got that grind aspect if that's what you like. I want to see if the cumulative level goes up, so we'll do one more run with him. Whether this one, wherever this one dies, is the last one for now. Well, I'll take a break. Well, it's good that it's not a mobile game, and you would have to pay for these same characters, these same movesets we've been using for like 15 years. To pay to use them again. Let's not encourage them to do that. I'm not gonna go gamble for the same moveset I've already used 1,000 hours. Yeah, this game is pretty solid. It just needs needs a balance pass. That's what it needs. Hello from America. Obrigado. Sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather right now. My throat is congested, and I got some acid reflux. Sorry for... Was barely able to record that overview yesterday. Just barely got it out. Might have to mute the mic a little bit. I'm alright.
もっと楽しみましょう。しょうがないわ。援護しよう。良いぞ良いぞ。
Well, I'm not really alright. I'm definitely, a little bit under the weather right now. I lost my medication. It's too rainy outside to go get more. I'm not feeling that great right now.
我に答えよ。
我がチームで敵を撃つ。
楽しませて。
Don't really understand the different status effects. I mean, the game has a power level system. You mostly want to stack the element that your character is affiliated with. So, like, for him it's Slay. And then at certain thresholds you get extra stuff, so it shows you all of them right here. What I don't know is if all of these stack. I know that these stack, I don't know if the elements stack. Like, these give pretty extensive things. And it just gets better as you go up. So you want to choose, like, your main element. Like, for him it's Slay, for other characters it's Wind, and so on. And then you want to, take a look at these here. Because it's not always apparent when you choose these that you're getting, these bonuses. Like, sometimes it'll just kind of show that you're not getting anything for picking one. It just means that you're not at a threshold. Like, for instance, from 8 to 9, there's nothing. But then 8 to 10, there's another upgrade, and then it goes every 2. So every one pickup of this, you get something up until 8, and then it's every 2. But as you can see, they get pretty... There's some pretty crazy stuff in here. Like, this gives max 3% for each allied hero, so every item you pick up, you're getting 3%, which is nuts. Increases assemble gauge charge by 100%. Summon cooldown. I mean, these are pretty extensive, but you have to build your character. So the power level system in this game, it's a good baseline, but you shouldn't always pick stuff just because it says that the number is going to go up. You might want to go for these, like for instance, if you got max of this, which one is this? I don't remember which one this is, but if you get max of this, you're getting a huge boost. This would basically make it so the bosses would get shredded a little bit faster, or a lot faster, depending on how your build is. And then the summoning cooldown as well is nuts. So, I think they put the power level system in there to make it like a mobile game, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually stronger. Obviously, if you commit to an element, you're going to get a major boost. But like I said, you're going to start to hit diminishing returns past 8, because it's going to take 2 pickups to get another upgrade. But it definitely does make a difference. Which I think is a good thing. I played another game like this called King of Fighters All-Stars, which was not a roguelike, but it had the power level mechanic. Like, this is giving me 5,810 combat power because it's Slay. So I'm getting another attribute towards that. The max is 18, and this puts me towards 5. But you may not want to always take that. You may want to take something else. So there definitely are some pretty interesting builds in this game. It's not, the builds in this game could be worse, that's for sure. They're not bad. I think the power level system is nice just because it makes it a little bit quicker to decide what you want, because the fights in this game are relatively shorter than the average roguelike. Usually you're in rooms a little bit longer than this game, so... Like this right here, for instance, that gives me the highest number because it's for Slay. And the character I'm using is Slay. So, that's an obvious buy. So, like, this is actually the best thing that you would take regardless in this situation. And the number definitely reflected that. Now, these, for instance, are not Slay, so I'm not getting any progress towards my primary element. So, like, yes, it does raise it by 3,000. Is it worth it? I mean, it really depends on what you're trying to do with the build. Like, for speed, I don't really think speed is that impactful. Like, I wouldn't really want to go for that, personally. I don't really want to go for any of these, so I'm just going to skip it. So, there definitely is some decision-making. Some people said that you just pick what number goes up the highest. I'm like, yeah, to a degree you can do that, and that's not inherently a bad thing. It's nice that you can not have to read so much. But it shouldn't be like the be-all, end-all of what you put on your character. Like, yeah, I don't really want speed, so I'm gonna go for this instead. Oh, whoa, I got a donation for Yakuza. Let me go buy that right now so you guys have proof. Whoever did that, thank you. I don't want to say your real name. I don't know if you want your You want to be partially doxxed. But thank you. I will not repeat your name, but thank you. Any other donations will go towards just general survival bills and stuff, boring adult things. Let me go ahead and get it right now. Thank you so much. I've got a lot of phlegm in my throat, so that's why I'm like coughing and stuff. Allergies and changing weather and shit. Alright, well there we go. Let me make sure you guys can't see this. I want someone to cop my key. Alright. That's a morale boost. Thank you. Oops. Alright, here you guys go. Here's your proof. There it is right there. Thank you.
参る。俺が出よう。私の出番か。
今こそ
消滅せよ。
Alright, this is gonna be a last run of this, and may also be the end of the stream. I think I need to give my I need to give my voice a break. I'm yapping a lot with these videos lately. But thank you for the dono. Got the game secured. Are you interested in Monster Hunter Wilds? No. You interested in Monster Hunter Wilds? No, definitely not. I already wasn't really wanting more Monster Hunter in the first place. Rise was like just barely the speed for me that I require to have fun. But then like Wilds is slower apparently and also runs worse. So I'm not paying $70 and I'm certainly not taking donations for a game that I probably won't like and is also going to run like garbage. Like, I tried out the pirate Yakuza game, right? The demo runs fine. I have no issues. Like, I knew that I could reliably ask for help getting that game because it works fine. People with Wilds have said that they have like computers a good 20-30% better than mine, and maybe even more, and it barely runs. So no, I'm not doing that. Hard pass. How to run it on Steam Deck? I don't remember. I kind of just installed it, to be honest. I'm cool with taking donations for stuff that I would play. You know, that works fine. I don't want to take donations for stuff that I'm gonna flush. Yeah, Monster Hunter was too slow for me. I enjoyed it. Rise was okay, but I definitely wasn't a big fan of it. I'm not about to give them $70 of my very low income to have the game run like garbage. I'm definitely not interested in doing that. I mean, you go look at the forums for Monster Hunter Wilds on Steam. It's all people saying they have quantum-powered computers and it barely runs. So I'm not going to be part of that statistic. Those are all people that, if they're telling the truth, which I don't see why they wouldn't be, should be more than capable of running that game like above 60 FPS, but it's barely working. So yeah, that's a hard pass for me.
す。
The demo for what? Pirate Yakuza? Yes.
我答え。
微力ながら私も尽くしましょう。
Yeah, I hear Infinite Wealth is really good, but it's also that mega time investment, so you gotta like turn-based RPGs, and then you gotta like a game that takes a really long time to finish. Not my kind of game, obviously, because of the turn-based. But, it was definitely one of the best games last year for people who are into that. I almost bought it because it has Spike out, but I held off. I held off because I didn't want to spend that money on a game I wasn't going to finish. What a concept, right? Not buying full-priced games you're never going to finish. Like, yeah, I wasn't going to ever finish that game. The only thing I wanted it for was Spike out. But the pirate game has Spike out, so waiting ended up being the big play.
私の役目必ず果たす
This run's pretty much torched. I'm really not, I'm not feeling too great right now. I think the stress from the cats dying is really messed with my body a little bit. We're just gonna go ahead and torch this run. It's not gonna finish. Give up. I want to see if the cumulative levels carry over. Like, does the cumulative level go up? That's what I'm curious. I don't really understand how that mechanic works. Yeah, it does go up. So every level you gain gives you these cumulative levels, but I don't know exactly how much stats it gives you. Yeah, that one had potential, but I'm not playing that great right now. I don't think I have it in me to do an hour-long run of this, especially with the bosses really triggering me. Fuma's probably pretty good in this game too, actually. Samurai Warriors characters are definitely quite a bit better because they have the Godspeed attacks. I do think that makes a pretty good difference. And then these fourth weapons, or the ultimate weapons, will definitely help too, because you get a whole other passive. So lots of stuff to grind for in this game. Is it good roguelike game design? I'd argue no. The roguelike game design of this game is questionable at best. But it's a really cool concept, and hopefully... I mean, they are supposed to be adding more characters. That will also give you more stats, too, I assume. You'll be able to get more... probably have more characters of certain elements, too. All those things should help, but... yeah, you're gonna have to grind a bit. I'm sure for some people that won't be a problem, but for me, I'm not a huge fan of it. I already listed off my best roguelikes. Anyway, I don't feel like doing another run. Even if I wasn't feeling kind of blah right now, I don't feel like doing another run. The runs in this are a little bit too long to immediately jump back in. I actually don't really think it's that addicting, for two reasons. The boss fights and the length of the run actively go against the addiction factor. I mean, I'm speaking from my experience. I can't speak for anyone else, obviously, but when I put dozens or like over 100+ hours into a game like that, usually there's like three major things I look for, which is good combat, which which Abyss does have, good boss fights that aren't annoying to fight dozens, if not hundreds, of times. Abyss does not have that, and a run length that's on average under an hour. Abyss does not have that either, at least not at the start. I'm sure you can get the runtime down a lot after you power up a bunch, but at the start, the runs are like over an hour long, and that's way longer than I like. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'll go over some of the other roguelikes I play, and you guys can get a good example. You can see my embarrassing amount of time I have in these games. I'm a big roguelike junkie. I have 60 hours in this game. Well, this game kind of has the same problem, actually. Mostly because the prequel to this game, you could stack a lot more damage, so the bosses went down a lot quicker. There definitely were some obnoxious bosses, and they had a little bit too much health, but even with that, the runs were consistently like 30, 40 minutes, sometimes even less. And the gameplay was really good. Astral Ascent, same thing. Runs in this game are 35 to 45 minutes, so a good, like, a quarter less than Abyss. But then also, this game's not afraid to let you, you know, kill bosses really quick. It flows really well. The build variety is considerably better than Abyss as well. You can see I have every achievement in this game. About 50 hours played. Definitely one of the best roguelikes. Entropy Effect, same thing. I've got... This number isn't accurate. It's probably more like 90 hours in this game, but that's still a lot for a roguelike. Runs are about half an hour, 35 minutes, so they're about the length of Astral Ascent with like load times and stuff. The combat is very good. The bosses, none of them are overly annoying. They don't like turn invincible and shit like that. Also, you can stagger and combo bosses in this game, so that helps too. Yeah, this is like a top tier roguelike though, like one of the best on the market. I'd say the build variety in this compared to Abyss is worse, because there definitely are some cool things you can do in Abyss. The builds in this is basically just your moveset and some of the elemental stuff, but it doesn't really like change how you play. The main build variety in this is getting more of your moveset and specializing in different stuff. But yeah, this game is a lot better than Abyss for the aforementioned reasons. The bosses are much better, and the run length is shorter, so it's a lot easier to keep playing. God of War Ragnarok, I thought the runs in this were like, they're like 30, 40 minutes. I only bought this game for the roguelike mode. I didn't even bother touching the story. Was really good. I played it for like 12 hours. I'll definitely have to go back and play it some more. But yeah, you could burst down bosses in this game pretty quick. And also the build variety was good. The bosses weren't overly annoying or unfair or time-wasting. Helveti, I played this for 35 hours. Runs were nice and short. Some of the bosses really weren't fun, but you could burst them down quick, so didn't really matter that much. Helveti is definitely one of my like top 10 roguelikes. What else we got here? Otherworld Legends is one of my top tiers, as you can see. I got every achievement. I have 70 plus hours in the game. Run length is short. Bosses die really quick. Build variety is fun. Definitely one of the best, in my opinion. All these games I would consider to be better than Warriors Abyss, by the way. Splintered Fate. The bosses in this game actually are about as annoying. Some of them are about as annoying and unfun as Warriors Abyss. But the runs are a lot shorter. Also, you can kill them relatively quick, so it kind of balances itself out. The average run in this game is like 25 to 30 minutes long. So, I think they got the length right. Some of the boss design in this game is also questionable too. Like, not the best. Like, I really don't want to fight this boss again, or like the hard mode versions of the bosses mostly just spam puddles on the ground, which is very uninteresting. especially because outside of Casey here, everybody in the game is melee only. There's no ranged options. So when they put puddles on the ground, you kind of just can't play. But yeah, this is definitely one of my top tier roguelikes as well, especially from a developer that never made one before. It's definitely a really good first attempt. Better than Warriors Abyss for sure. Build variety was a little bit easier to get going, but that's mostly because the run is a lot shorter. Wendigo Blue, I played for about 20 hours. Really good roguelike. This game does have some shit bosses too. Actually, the bosses in this game are kind of similar to Warriors Abyss, where sometimes you just don't want to fight them because of the armor mechanic. It's actually very similar, but the runs are considerably shorter, and skill definitely matters a lot more. Like, you can still shred the bosses even if you have crap gear. The runs aren't overly long. This game is early access. It's already really solid. It's only $10. Uh, I would say it's in my top tier roguelikes already, even though it's not finished. I liked it a lot more than like Hades and stuff. This game is Chinese, but Corridor of Time. This is like a character action roguelike. You'd have to translate it into English with the auto translate. There's a guide in here, but yeah, this game was really good too. Those are the ones I just have installed right now, but I consider all those games I mentioned to be mostly better than Warriors Abyss. I don't know, a FromSoft roguelike doesn't sound fun to me. That sounds boring. And like, you can already make overpowered builds in FromSoft games anyway. I don't really get the appeal. I guess it's just because FromSoft is probably working on an actual successor to Elden Ring or a new Souls-like. They just wanted to crap something out quick, but that premise doesn't sound interesting to me at all. I think there's better action game formats that would work better for a roguelike than a Souls-like. All the roguelikes that try to copy Souls are inspired by Souls gameplay look really boring. They look like just playing a Souls game with like minor stat increases. I'd argue you could just go play Neo or Stranger of Paradise, right? Those games have better stuff. Apparently people are excited for it, but it also seems like people are relatively divided on the Elden Ring roguelike. Like, some people are really excited for it, but other people are more apprehensive. Either because they don't like roguelikes at all, or they're not sure if it's even going to be a good one. If it is it a good fit for a roguelike? It may not be. Maybe it is. I don't know, but I definitely feel on the side of it probably will be fun to play, and the co-op angle is nice. Is it going to be a good roguelike, though? That's anyone's guess. The runs might be too long, or maybe the builds aren't interesting. I mean, who knows how it's going to work. I know you play, you don't create a character in the Elden Ring roguelike. It's like a predetermined character. So you have like set characters that you play. You don't play just a complete blank slate. But yeah, those are pretty much the roguelikes that I have installed at least. Actually, let me do this. I got a couple in here that aren't installed that are probably pretty good too. I like the Awakener Forgotten Oath. Was pretty solid, but the balancing was also kind of poor. The moveset could have been larger as well. You could only equip like 4 moves. I did like this game for what it was worth. See here. Loot Banter, this is the game I was talking about. Uh, Builds were very boring. It forced you to grind to get endings. It was a requirement to grind. If I remember correctly, there was some kind of like time requirement to get the endings. So you had to grind to get the stuff, and the character was very incapable without grinding. This guy had to grind for like a a parry. He had to grind for a ground pound or a quick drop. He had to grind for so much stuff. The skill tree felt artificial because it's like stuff that you just expect a character, an action game character to be able to do the moment you get into gameplay. Also, the builds in this game were very boring. There was supposed to be an update that was supposed to make the builds more interesting. I definitely think that would have uh, uplifted the game a lot, but the game, they just kind of dropped support and they abandoned it. So I couldn't recommend this one. The graphics were definitely really good. The gameplay and the roguelike design was poor. The forced grind and the uninteresting skill tree and the meta progression was not very interesting. Really held this game back. The run length was actually pretty good, but you had to grind for it. Let's see here. Remy Lore I played on PS4. This game was actually a lot of fun too. If you can get this game on sale, I think it was a pretty good roguelike. You can go watch my overview for that. I put that video up like years ago. Super House of Dead Ninjas was awesome. I played this for 45 hours. Run length was really good. Very well balanced. Bosses died quick. Wizard of Legend, like top 3 roguelikes for me. You see, I played it 60 hours. And runs are like 20 minutes long on average, so I play this game a lot. I really liked how it was balanced with not needing to grind to beat the game. They weren't afraid to let you burst down bosses. The builds were fun. The items were impactful. It was just one of the best roguelikes ever made, in my opinion. I'm actually not really a big fan of Hades. I thought Hades was okay. I didn't really care for the gameplay of Hades. I mean, the builds were definitely fun. I thought the gameplay was only average. Hades 2 I tried, and I just couldn't get into it. Maybe I need to give it more of a chance. But Hades 2 definitely has an offensive amount of meta progression where you have to grind to make the game fun. And apparently people asked for that, so I can't really fault the developers for doing that. People specifically asked for it, and they followed through. But personally, it just wasn't for me. Anyway, hope that helps. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there, folks, and take a break. Maybe go to the grocery store, since we actually have a little bit of sunlight right now, and it's supposed to rain really heavily earlier, so I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I am not working at my neighbor's house tonight unless it clears up, so I'll probably be back either before or after I feed the cats, and we'll come back and we'll play some more Warriors Abyss. We'll probably check out the Pirate Yakuza demo, and then I'm probably going to do a run of Astral Ascent. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, everybody.